Good morning, Mr. Trump. I'm glad to see you've cut back during our government's troubling time.
Well, thank you, Ms. Vega and CNN for having me on tonight. It means a lot. You know, I don't always agree with what you guys have to say about me and the fake news that you guys post, but we can get back at that at a later time. Not major at all. But I do appreciate you bringing up me coming back in solidarity with the United States of America, the country that I so greatly represent, and I hope to make again great, because right now it is not great. So, yes, as you can see, I have been cutting back on, have not been spending a lot, and I've been really trying to put the American people first. Well, thank you.
So, what do you think it'll take for both sides of for both parties to come to an agreement?
Well, it's quite simple, as you may ask. I only need a small donation of $5 billion for my border wall, and I've said that since day one. And it's just,
Mr. Trump, I'm sorry, but $5 billion is not a small check to ask for, since half of our country is out of a job, thanks to you.
Well, okay, well, let me put this in layman's terms for you. $5 billion is a major donation, and I see that now. But if we can just put the wall in, we can keep all of the illegals out, and we can stop like Juan Pablo's parents. They came in illegally and they got deported, but that costs major money, major. But with the border wall, we can cut back on ICE and border protection, and we can just set specific boundaries so we don't have to spend as much. So in the long run, it is an economical advantage for the United States of America, how to make it great again.
So what are your thoughts on all the pictures and videos exposing the truth about the government shutdown?
Well, I just want to put it out there. This isn't my fault whatsoever. This was all the Democrats' fault for not letting me have my little wall. And it's the only thing that would really save my presidency in its essence. It's not like I'm asking to surround the whole country with a major wall. I'm asking, it's just the U.S.-Mexico border. Nothing more than that. Nothing more than that. That's all I want.
Mr. President, do you know how long the Mexico-U.S. border is?
Last time I visited, maybe a couple hundred miles at most.
Mr. Trump, the border is 1,954 miles long, but that doesn't answer my first question.
What was the first question? I'm sorry. Sorry, I wasn't listening. I'm sorry.
What are your thoughts and opinions on all the pictures and videos exposing the truth about the country's current state in some locations like the national parks due to the government shutdown?
Well, Ms. Vega, simply, it is fake news. Next question.
In return for the finances for the wall, what will you give the Democrats in return?
Well, it's quite simple, as you see. Because of the cuts back, and I've had to keep the kids not in cages like CNN and so many others report. I put them in jail cells, which is way majorly better. All right, Ms. Vega and CNN, I want you to know I take care of these kids like they're my own. All right, like they were one of my 30 kids. Now, with the financing for the border wall, I can put these kids back with their parents because that is built into it. See Juan Pablo right here. His parents were deported, and he's kept in the jail cells along with my other favorite kids. I pulled them out today to show you how much I care about them. But if I get my $5 billion, I will set these kids free. I will set them all free. Major promise. And they will become free range kids. That is my answer. Next question is Vega.
How do you plan on apologizing to all the government workers who have officially not gone to work in 35 days? This being the longest government shutdown in U.S. history.
Well, it is not my fault, like I've stated many times, and I want to say right here for the final time that it is not my fault. As Donald Trump, it is not my fault. The government will always be in place because society in and of itself cannot sustain without a government and a solid leader. Now, the jobs will be available and have always been available, but they will be given back, and people will be able to go back to work when the government finally comes back, and that can only happen if I get my wall, and that is that. And then we can call America great again, and we can go back to being the #1 society in the world. Thank you.
How do you think the immigrants feel knowing that you are fighting so hard as the President of the United States to get them out of this country?
How do you think it makes me feel that all these illegal immigrants are coming to my country, taking my food, taking my jobs, and my money? And that is all I'm going to say on this interview and from this fake news, and I cannot take it anymore.